Fellas, this is your call to action. Help your ladies with those DIYs. 3, 2, 1.
Now you have props.
This is the props department was a little light today. This is a socket, certain size, 17 if you're wondering. So that only fits 17 things. I know tools. Hey, welcome to the next episode that you're watching of the Homer Nude Show.
Today we are talking about actually the most commonly asked comment or question that I get on the blog, which is, how do I get my husband on board with my projects? Or I wish that my husband would
get off his lazy butt and help,
or would do a project with me.
Yeah.
And so we thought that would be a fun topic to cover, of if you are struggling and your spouse does not want to participate in the projects. And so we're going to talk about some ways on hopefully to get your significant other involved with your DIYs.
So I think the first thing to know about a fella is that we are visual creatures.
Yes.
We see beauty. We want to marry beauty. We see something that we like. Even for our cars, we want the right color. We want the right model number and all those kind of things. We are visual creatures. So most men seem to have trouble seeing the end result. And
you face that a lot with your business, your exterior painting business, Brick Specialty.
Yes.
Painting.
So, I would say 90% of my customers, it's the wife calling me and saying, I want my brick painted and lime washed, and my husband's really not on board with this.
Yeah.
And but he's letting me do it. Mm-hmm. It's like, so, well, how can we get him on board? So I usually try to talk to him man to man and just kind of tell him, give him the technical specs of the stuff. It's like, this is good for the brick and those kind of things. That also helps.
Yeah.
Where the guy goes, oh, this is okay, it's good for the brick.
Well, and then
it's not going to hurt my house.
But being able to help them see the end goal.
That's right. And I have some samples that they can look at, and then I give them a sample on the side of the house and say, come look at it. And the husband is still probably a little weary of it, but he goes, okay, still something my wife wants to do. But he kind of shrugs his shoulders and goes off. And I know that's not very encouraging to the wife, who's like, I just wish he would want this too, and share this with me. But 100% of the time, when I'm done, the husband comes out and goes, oh, this is great. That confirms to me that it's just hard to see what the vision is without seeing some example. It's just a tough thing.
Well, I think that even in some of our own DIY projects, if I present an idea, there have been times where you're like, are you sure about that?
The reason I'm saying this about other fellas is because I do the same thing, even though I know I'm a much more involved guy and I get the vision, generally speaking. But there are plenty of times where you're saying something, I'm going, no, that's going to be too hard. I think that's above my skill set. I don't think it's possible. And then we're done with it, and I'm thinking, why did I ever doubt you? So that's the lesson to learn. Never doubt your wife.
I don't know about that. That's not a good lesson.
Maybe don't start with a huge project.
No, start small. Maybe start with like a closet makeover or even just painting a room together.
Yeah.
Like that's what I love, is that you love to tape off and mask off the areas. Yeah. So he'll be on one side of the room taping and masking, and while I start on the other side of the room,
she has it
already cutting in.
Yeah, she has it done before I've even taped it off. So that's the plan. I'll just lay on the ground and tape. This is really taking some time.
Wait, so are you being nefarious about all this?
No, but that's another way. I mean, you find strengths and weaknesses between each other. And, if you're not much of a painter, but hey, I like to tape off, or I don't mind cleaning up, or everybody hates cleaning up, but
I love cleaning up.
But I like tossing into the garbage pail, when I'm done. But so maybe a small DIY project, something that gets a reluctant husband involved, and to see, okay, I can trust this process, and
Yeah.
and hey, it'll save us some money too because you're going to do it yourself. So all of those things help, a guy feel a little bit more
All right.
ready to get involved.
Okay. Well, and I think that you spoke about something that was good, and I think that that's making it a team effort.
Yeah.
I think, there are a lot of times where I've come with a design plan and you're like, okay, well, wait, but I really hate this one
Right.
particular aspect. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want to have something in your home that you're going to hate. So let's find something together
Yeah.
that, is going to
Work for
help
both of us.
compromise
Yeah.
to where we're both going to love the space. So I think that if you come together and say, okay, well, let's tackle this. We're going to paint this room. Well, I want to paint it orange. I hate orange.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's choose another color.
Yeah.
We obviously
Less
don't want to do that.
orange.
That's less orangey. But, maybe put the plan together, or, make sure that you get the design input
Yeah.
from each other, or, like you were saying, work in tandem or apart.
Yes.
Like
That's right. Yeah, you may have to do it separately. It depends on how your
it just
your
depends on
work.
how your relationship
Yeah.
is. But I think the main thing is to assign the person the projects that they enjoy.
Yeah. You may find the project you enjoy by doing projects.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to discover what you're good at, what you're not so good at. And, at the end of the day, it's just a room. It's not going to be
Right.
the end of the world. It's a learning process.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to redo that room anyway later on down the line when you get tired of that color.
Well, and I think that, by the time that, here it is 5 years later, and now you're actually pretty good at it. And so you took that on as a challenge.
That's right.
And, okay, well, how can I actually overcome this?
Yeah.
Instead of having this one
Yeah.
thing defeat me.
Right. And I'm glad I did, because now when we talk about future projects, I'm not sitting there going, "Oh, we're hiring that out." It's
Right.
like, okay, I think I can do it.
But there could be some things that we are like, I am not touching.
Yeah,
that.
if it
I
was
do
a
not wanna-"
lot, I would probably be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I don't know. I can get maybe one little strip, primo, but 50, I don't think so."
Yeah, that would be a lot.
That's a lot.
Okay, so you kind of lay out your plan,
Mm-hmm.
start with something small, make it a team effort, and then I think the last kind of little point that would really be helpful is like to speak their love language. So if it's, a roommate or a parent or, anyone who you're working on a project together, I think that if you speak the love language of that person, so say that they are a very budget-minded person, then you need to think about, okay, well, maybe the benefit of doing this project is this is going to save us this much money if we
Sell
do this
them
DIY.
on that idea.
That's right. Or, if they love woodworking, or if they love to work with epoxies or whatever it may be, this is a way that we can showcase, I need you to use your talent and your skill in order
that's
to
good.
help finish this project and
Yeah.
make it feel like your own project. Another idea is adding elements that they love. I mean, we're not hunters,
Yeah.
and I would not want a deer head on my wall.
Yeah.
But if you were a hunter and you had this wonderful, trophy
Yeah.
of this animal that you
Yeah.
finally were able to
That you want looking at you at all hours of the day from above the fireplace.
But if that was something that was important, then you need to figure out a way to
Use that in the room.
right.
Or let's say the compromise is, well, I can't have this elk head in the middle of my room, but I'll put a little skull of some kind, like something that's a little more artistic. Maybe that's the little bit of a compromise.
A little compromise.
Yeah.
Well, I think that it goes vice versa. So if the woman, it's all, very curved lines and heavily floral, and, the guy doesn't feel like he
Yeah.
has any place. Like, is this even my home? I feel
Yeah.
like I'm in my grandma's house or whatever it is.
So you're speaking to the women saying maybe
Maybe you need to alter your design.
masculinize it a little bit.
Yeah.
Or defeminine it. I
Yeah.
don't know what the right word is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, I think that even if it's two brothers living in an apartment together and one has one style and one has another style. I think that you have to kind of be able to shift that, okay, well, I've got to have this. And then that person says,
Yeah.
I absolutely hate
Right.
that. Then you're going to have to find some way
Yeah.
to compromise. So I think that that's the biggest key
Yeah.
when DIY and getting anybody else on board, be it your husband or your brother or
Yeah.
whatever, to compromise, be willing to have a dialogue and have this wonderful conversation about how can we do this together, and let's make
Yeah.
it fun.
That's right.
And let's put on, you know what, you love that music, let's put on your favorite music while we do it.
Yeah.
Or whatever it may be, something that is going to just make it
That's
this
good.
inviting, incredible. At the end of it, we're going to go to your favorite restaurant
Yeah.
as a reward, or we're
Yeah.
going to go finally take that beach
Yeah.
vacation because we were able to save so much money on this
Yes.
project.
Yeah, there we go. And if the brothers can't come to a compromise, I'd say they fight it out in a cage match with ratchet wrenches.
I took
Where's
the
my ratchet wrench? I want it back.
No, it's gone for the rest of the show.
So, so I want to encourage you guys out there that are watching to get on board with your wife's ideas. Again, in my business, when I see a husband out there with his wife and he's not complaining about it and he's not rolling his eyes and making her feel less than, but he's actually involved in the process, that's very encouraging to me. And that's just the sweeter way to be. And, I just think it's not worth the tension in a household to just be that unmoved by something his wife is passionate about. So keep that in mind and don't be like that. That's my shaking my finger. If I had my ratchet, I'd shake my ratchet at you. But I just think it goes so beyond the wall color or that you're painting the brick. This is an expression of her creativity. It's an expression of her desires. And we as men should be there to support that.
I think that it goes a little bit deeper than that, too. I think, I kept picturing a kid coming up and showing this drawing to
Yeah.
someone. And you wouldn't take the drawing and crumple it up and
It's
throw
no
it.
Picasso. Yeah.
But you would actually accept it. And
You'll
be
never make
gracious.
any Monet with that kind of crap.
Gosh, that is such a dad joke. But I think that you would actually, compliment the work and say
Yeah.
you did a good job, or at least a thank you for giving me this.
Yeah.
So there would be actually a genuine, soft, heartfelt response to that. And I think that if both parties
Yes.
came with this softer approach of working toward how can we do this as a team,
Yeah.
and how can we make it fun, I think that that's the change
Yeah.
to everything.
Aw, there it is. We just fixed all your problems.
We hope this encouraged you. If you have any questions, leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you, and don't forget to subscribe so that way you won't miss a new episode that comes out each and every week.
With the more ratchet noises, give it to me.
No.
Yes, hand it over. I was going to sing something. Hey, what? Oh, sorry, I've got to take this call. I know tools.